What's up, guys? Nolan here, and BSG just got us the English transcript for the Russian podcast last week that I've already made a couple videos for, and essentially all of it ended up being true. There's a couple changes that were made, and they're not actually because the last ones are wrong, it was just misinformation. But simply put, there is a lot here, of which some people might have missed because maybe they didn't trust the translations from the old videos or whatever. So what I'm going to do is run through what I think is new info as quickly as possible while trying to help anyone not up to date understand the current stuff. So Streets is coming in this next patch, or at least it really should be this time, but it's only the first part of Streets. Nikita explains here that there will be many parts of Streets, and that the suburbs, which can be seen in some concept pictures for the Streets location, will be a separate location, and it's going to be DLC. We've known about this for a long time now. However, that is based off of the concept art that hasn't been seen in any teases or anything like that. I'm going to have a video later on discussing what we think Streets Part 1 will look like, because Streets Part 1 will be huge on its own and will include many points of interest, and that's directly from Nikita himself there. One house in the immediate area around it can hold up to 15 scavs. In order to make the entire map feel alive, they are developing a system to allow for up to 100 entities to be placed at a time. There's that first correction from the translation the other day, so I ended up being right. They did mean 100 total instead of 100 players. That would be insane, especially for a map in a game like this. So when this system is in place, it will likely be something like 30 to 40, maybe a bit more players, and 40 to 50, again, maybe a bit more AI at the same time. But again, the AI can respawn to make the numbers seem like a lot more. That is for sure ambitious, so we'll have to see what happens with that. We got confirmation there's no boss in the first iteration of Streets of Tarkov. Same for the BTR, but also confirmation that you can ride the BTR like a train with predetermined spots and then pay extra to use the turret with its weapons on the BTR. Streets is going to combine all of the features in-game between mechanics, features, and AI, but this first part will only have what's current to this patch. More on that throughout this interview. The walls that we will be able to break down are very unique, specific locations. It will not be every wall. Nikita mentioned landmines here and how you can use them to blow up walls. I don't know if that's confirmation that they're coming next patch or not, though, because it is sort of likely that they do, but we'll talk about that at a different time. When asked about crawling through vents, Nikita basically said find out for yourself. The location has a lot of interesting details and unique aspects. On part 1, the extracts will work like the ones that we have now, but they do plan to add at least one where a flare will call your extract in the future. In English now, they mentioned the part about wanting to move away from simple extracts like paying cash, timed extracts, pulling switches, and flare guns. Those are the kinds of extracts that they want, instead of just walking up to a location and then you leave. However, that is how it will work for scavs, though, because apparently that's because they know the area better, so they will have normal extracts. There was another incorrect translation when it came to roofs, as some roofs will be accessible on some buildings, but not all. While some will be covered by snipers, I guess we'll need to figure out which is which. Extra physics around small objects is coming to make explosions feel more immersive. This is what we see in the trailers for Streets when things fall off shelves and stuff. However, they might turn it off for Streets Part 1. Confirmation again that the labs location will no longer be accessible from the lobby at some point in the future. At that point, you will need to go to a different location, at least Streets, maybe Factory first, then physically go to labs with your own key card to get in on your own, and then extract from labs in order to actually leave the area. However, you will be back on whatever map you decide to extract to, and then you will need to extract from that location in order to actually quote-unquote survive labs. You're going to need to technically survive 2 maps in order to do that. Or would it be 3? Even then, the labs location will still have a limit, though. They're saying they'll have a system to place no more than 20 people possibly, so it's not too crowded. So I don't know if they'll lock it down or if it's going to be like considered a separate lobby. Maybe there's going to be a loading screen involved or something. Not too sure there. But again, they will limit it to at least 20 people, probably less, when that system does come. The first iteration of Streets is very much a test of the location. There will be bots and there will be new systems, but nowhere near what they intend to have on full release. They want to take things slow and get it right with the tuning, it seems, and especially with performance. Nikita also confirms here there will be a lot of quests for Streets from the start. When asked about adding a grappling hook, Nikita joked around about it, but basically it was a no. What scared me initially here is at the end of this answer, he says, quote, next year we have some changes planned to be able to launch a big number of players on Streets of Tarkov. Now, when I first read that, I thought, okay, is Streets Part 1 delayed or what's going on with that? Then I asked BSG and they said, no, this is basically a next part of Streets. Streets Part 1 is still planned to be coming this year, and what they talk about here is some kind of future update where they plan on increasing the number of players and stuff like that as to be expected. So this is going to be like a Streets Part 3 or 4 or something like that, maybe a 2. Either way, Streets Part 1 still planned for this year, and at some point next year they're planning to add more players to the location along with whatever else they plan to add at that time. Now for Arena, it is all going well and everything is apparently still on schedule. BSG will let us know very soon when the beta will start and how mechanics will work. There will be a special game mode in Arena that that will be one-on-one, and that pretty much sums it up. So Arena soon TM possibly, we'll have to wait and see. BSG do plan to add a system where you can share weapon presets with others and even upvote other people's builds. Opening doors with one hand still on a weapon so it's ready to shoot if you need to is still planned, but not a priority. That's a bit of a change from the translated stuff. The ability to shoot from your back is planned. I've never heard this word before. Apparently it's called supine or supine, S-U-P-I-N-E. I don't know why you would need this when we have prone lean, but let me know what you guys think. While shooting close to dust, either prone or otherwise, apparently they want to add dust effects. So that was a little bit of a change for the translated stuff as well. I believe the thing in the translated one was when you get up from prone or when you drop to prone. I would expect if they're going to add dust effects for shooting, they might also add that, where if you're going to kick up dust, then you literally kick up dust. Apparently they want to add that. So we can replace armor plates, but not fully repair armor and weapons in raid. They will add a new durability indicator for each element of a weapon so that we know exactly what's going on with it though. More details on what damage you did to what in raids might be coming in the future, so not planned, but not a no either. I think that was also a little bit of a change from the translated stuff. Something with detailed stats on how many players were on the map for that raid and stuff like that. We're asked about if we could have something like that. BSG don't really want to give too many details as it is unrealistic. They're thinking of ways to make things interesting for stuff like this though. They might add a thing where you get a message from a person when you meet them in raid and they show you their nickname so that you can actually remember their nickname without having to like write it down in real world. That would be kind of cool. A system where you will be notified of what happens to people that you report is work in progress. It is coming to the game. It's also planned to be able to report a server in general for performance issues. So if you think somebody's hacking and you report them for hacking, you will know if that person was banned or not. I really hope it tells you why they didn't choose to ban that person or something like that. I don't know if it's going to go that detailed, but I assume if somebody really believes somebody to be hacking and then they don't get banned, that's also going to be pretty bad. But guess what? That happens a lot. There's still desync. There's still issues. That person that you thought killed you might have been the person that killed you. Topic for a different day. Either way, that system is coming. So if you know for a fact actually somebody is cheating, like they're flying around or whatever, you'll know when that person gets banned. Work is underway on lighting across all locations, but it's not ready for the next patch. Apparently it's dramatic. Nikita doesn't like simple events and he wants them to be shorter in the future while happening more often. Quote, events should be vivid, memorable, and short. There are a lot of plans to add more events as well. Apparently some are already good to go, both in and out of game. Nikita says the flare gun rounds that summon scavs are still in the game and can be looted and used the same way as the Halloween event. There's confirmation about the possibility of BSG adding the ability to use Tagilla's hammer or scythe when you max out strength. They plan on adding interesting stuff similar to that when you max out skills to make them unique. Confirmation on new boss voice lines and that Killas will be really funny. Nikita didn't want to talk about their plans with Rizzy or Antlerman. They're keeping that close to the chest. Confirmation that there will be a New Year's event, but unsure how different it will be from last year's. During the conversation, Nikita said that they did have procedural snow working on a test build before. And for those who don't know, it is still in the plans as DLC to have advanced weather like snow, but that's years away from right now. New PMC clothes are coming, both functional and for the holidays. I don't know if that's on top of the normal hats and beards and stuff that they get. He did mention beards and hats, but again, I don't know if they're different or the same stuff that we usually get. We'll have to wait and see. Confirmation that no radios this patch, but they are work in progress right now. For those who don't know, it's not simply just radios. There's actually some extra features around where you can track people based off of their frequency and stuff like that. It's actually going to be pretty cool, but again, not in this patch. Nikita said that all of the mechanics around the quests will be reworked for the game's release. He also said that we plan to change and reshuffle the quests with this wipe so that players will experience the already familiar experience in a new way. So that is confirmation that there's going to be a lot of task changes, and yes, that is a direct quote there. He said wipe, this wipe, and they even typed it here in the transcript, so, you know, do with that what you will. But for me, that's confirmation that this is going to be a wipe. To add to that really good confirmation there will be a gym added to the hideout as well as a cat. You will have a cat in the hideout with you at some point in the future. Both the gym and the cat are work in progress right now. When listing specific details about the offline co-op options, Nikita said there will be a lot of adjustments, weather, bot settings, 1 HP for everyone, etc. Some of these settings will be added in this next major patch. Settings for content creation will also be added in the future. Side note here, I believe that will include free cam, but we'll see. A hardcore mode in some form is planned and apparently in turns off the flea market. That's all it says here, so we'll have to see what exactly that pertains to in terms of a server selection, special event, or what. It simply just says, is a hardcore mode planned? He says yes, and it turns off the flea market. So we'll see. Confirmation on the book and note reading system where you will need to find certain ones for certain crafts. Apparently, much of crafting will be expanded with story quests. Story quests, by the way, being something that won't come until full release though. No certainty on if the book stuff will be in in before then or not. But again, that's confirmation at some point in the future. Some crafts are going to require you to learn how to craft it from a book, not just be able to craft it in your hideout. Confirmation on the master key plans. The black key card for labs will be changed in the future, possibly to this master key card, as it was apparently originally planned to be. And in case anyone is confused there, apparently there's going to be a master key card for the labs location specifically, where one key card will get you into every single room. So yeah, if you think the red key card is pretty rare and expensive right now, I don't even want to know what that's going to end up being like. Nikita said that you will be able to start crafts in your hideout through an app that they are developing. We knew that this is something that they were working on. We only have a few details on it so far, but it sounds like you'll be able to claim insurance and apparently start crafts from it when we have it. PMC lying on couch in hideout animations are ready, but the other ones that were mentioned previously are either planned or work in progress, like smoking a cigarette or leaning against a wall, stuff like that. The translation about looting locked doors for cars was wrong. It's only a possibility, not a guarantee. However, opening the locked doors with the crowbar and other stuff is still planned, it seems. And that's all for now, guys. I already got confirmation from BSG on that street stuff. Streets Part 1 is still planned for this year. And it sounds like we kind of got confirmation that it's going to be a wipe, so cool stuff. To check out this full post, I linked it below, and while you're down there, if you like this video, there is a button for that. Subscribe for more like it. Jump into the comments and let me know what you guys think of this stuff, because apparently that's a pretty good clue that this is a big one coming up. If you weren't already thinking it, personally I was, of course. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. For the latest Tarkov news, check this out. For the latest Tarkov-like news, check this out. Follow me on Twitter or join the Discord, both linked below for the minute-by-minute stuff. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a nice day. See you guys.